Doug Wiley with Police Magazine. I'm here with Fish, Steve Fish. Fish, you and I have known each other well over a decade now.
Yeah.
And over the course of the time we've been friends, I've come to learn a little about some of the things that you've gone through in your life. You've faced and overcome some adversity. And you talk to me personally and talk to our group of friends here at ILETA here in St. Louis, Missouri, 2019, about the things that you've learned from going through some of the difficult times, and how to pass along that, the value of emotional stability and the value of perseverance and persistence and resiliency. Talk to us a little about some of the things we've talked about.
Oh yeah, it started in 04 and 05. I got diagnosed with cancer and went through chemo and radiation. That was just, I was here, I thought I was one of the strongest, most gung-ho guys out there, and figured out, okay, I'm gonna fight this and win it. 2005 went back on the road, and then 2006 my dad gets killed in a car accident. Following year, mom dies. Less than a year later, wife files for divorce. 2008, get divorced. Wrote the article.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was made of steel and I could really handle it, but the best thing I ever did, and we have this on my department right now, is peer support. And when I see some of the people here that bring this in, you got to talk about it. You could be the toughest guy in the world. I mean, here I was SWAT team, and just thought there's no way I'm going to show my weakness because I don't want anybody to know about it. And it got to be a real tragic time for me, and I finally went and started talking to people and actually get involved with it now in my department, where if we see something or we notice something, we approach people.
Mm-hmm.
And my department right now, they do debriefs on a tragic incident, and do a lot more than we used to, because it's important. I mean, cop suicides, that's the worst thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that we can control that if we can see it. And emotionally, up until that point, I never thought about that, but the counselor that I talked to just looked at me and just said, I don't know how you made it this long. Mm-hmm. He said, without, you should come to somebody sooner. So I truly believe in that. I think emotional support, and actually, believe it or not, after I did that, my ex-wife and I get along better than we ever have.
Mm-hmm.
We're good friends. I'm good friends with her boyfriend and stuff. And I mean, it's, I don't know where I would have been if I would have done that earlier, but I think she sensed it, and that's what was the beginning of the demise for me. So as far as my relationship with my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm. As you are aware, I believe I am on the board of directors for Blue Help, an organization that tracks police officer suicide. But more importantly, perhaps, in my opinion, is that we are helping agencies and individuals understand the need for either peer support or professional support or both, or some combination thereof, in order to address people who are what I call approaching crisis, or are in actual crisis, where you have ideation of suicidal thoughts, or of simply just being more reckless. There are a lot of warning signs for officers out there, and either a shift partner or a spouse, home life partner. The signs. So many times I talk to widows or widowers, and I talk to agencies and officers who've lost an officer by suicide, and almost everyone says, I wish I saw the signs, I just didn't put the two and two together, and didn't figure it out, and didn't approach that person. And we need to have courageous conversations where, I'll go to, hey man, you're going too fast, you're doing some stuff that you said something that made me go, oh, what do you mean I'll be there for your kids if you die? Why are you asking me this? And it's difficult to have these conversations, but it's important that we, again, talk about the notion of helping each other and caring for each other like a family.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, and we see it, but a lot of times cops don't like get involved in that. They don't. That's personal and stuff like that.
Right.
But you got to do it. And like I said, our group of guys and gals on my department, everybody teams up with it, and that's impressive. But I mean, 10 years ago, never heard about it. No. I lost a really close friend of mine. Actually, it was a year before my divorce. He was a copper, retired, and he committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy who made the Brewers roster, got beat out by Jimmy Ganter. I can't believe that, right? But then he just turned around and went into bodybuilding, powerlifting, and everything else. Looked like a man of steel, and it's like, man, this is the strongest guy in the world. His brother was a cop, you know, and nobody saw the signs. And it just, you think about the guy every day. It's like this was probably one of the toughest, badass cops I've ever dealt with, and never saw the sign. I did not see it. Nobody saw it, and that was after he retired. He'd been off the job about a year or so. But, you know, if you, I tell everybody, I said, if we see something that doesn't look like the norm, say something.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they know that you see something, and they might not see it coming themselves.
Yeah. If you're going through hell, keep going. And that's what you did. You kept going. You had the perseverance, the persistence, and the resiliency. And I really appreciate that you're teaching that to younger officers. And you're part of this discussion around making sure that officer wellness is addressed in a holistic way. You can do all the great working out, do all the cardio. You can be running biathlons, triathlons, Ironman. But if you don't take care of Ironman here and here, then you're not doing a complete job of your fitness and your well-being. So thank you very much, Fish, for what you do.
No problem, thanks.
Doug Wiley, Police Magazine.